Making an impact this week, the current government shutdown officially the second longest in history, and tensions surge with a longtime U.S. ally, Colombia, over President Donald Trump's anti-drug campaign. What South Florida Congresswoman María Elvira Salazar had to say. Miami-Dade County launching a new transportation connection. Hear from Mayor Danilo Levine Cava on the bus rapid transit system down south. And voters in Miami will soon head to the polls to vote for their next mayor. Former Commissioner Alex Diaz de la Portilla is on the ballot. His plans for the 305 and City Hall. This is NBC 6 Impact, and I'm your host, Jackie Nespral. Tensions in Latin America rise. The U.S. crackdown on drugs has led to a feud with longtime U.S. ally Colombia. Colombian President Gustavo Petro and President Trump are at odds over American strikes on boats in the Caribbean. I went one-on-one with Congresswoman María Elvira Salazar to get her take on that and the government shutdown. Congresswoman María Elvira Salazar, thank you as always for joining us.
My pleasure, Jackie.
So we are now in the third week of the government shutdown and still no end in sight. Is this perhaps the moment to pass a proper budget and stop the continuing resolutions?
Well, reality is that this is the empirical evidence. The Democrats voted for this same budget 10 times before. This budget was written by Nancy Pelosi. Most people don't know this. This is not a Republican budget. We just needed to negotiate a little bit more, 7 weeks more, so we could come up with our own numbers and then vote, take those numbers, GOP numbers, to the floor. But the Dems are using this for political reasons. It makes no sense for Schumer not to want to vote on something that he has voted on for 13 times before. This Obamacare health care issue it's a lie. It's not true, because we have told them, we the Republicans, we have told the Democrats, let's go back to work and then let's sit at the table and negotiate Obamacare, the subsidies, anything you want to talk about. I'm number one. I'm district number 27. I know that many people in my district need those subsidies. Okay, we're going to give them to them. We're going to clean fraud, abuse, and waste, but we're going to continue serving those people who need them. But we have to go back to work, and the Dems are not allowing us to. That's the truth.
Well, you mentioned 10 districts in the country with the most people enrolled in coverage through Obamacare are in Florida, and your district is top 5. So how do you reconcile with that funding hanging in the balance right now?
Well, the funding, that the tax subsidies are about to expire by the end of the year. And that's why I thought that we were going to be able to vote accordingly and negotiate and do and extend the subsidies. But with the government shutdown, it's impossible. But we have until December 31st. So I am hopeful that very soon we're going to come back here. I'm in my district office, be able to come back and have activity on the floor.
So you're hopeful that this will be resolved before the end of the year?
Oh, Jackie, it has to. Come on. We got to pay people. We got to pay the federal employees. We have to pay the air traffic controllers and the people that are working at the parks. And we got to pay the troops. We got to, we have to pay government employees. So it has to resolve. But, the Dems this is all politics. And, I miss my journalism years because politics always gets in the way. Do what's good for your district. Do what's good for the country. Like Jefferson said, this is a discussion of opinion, it's not a discussion of principles. We want to help the American people, but don't put your political career ahead of the national interests. And that's what's happening with Schumer.
I want to move to what's happening now with Colombia, which has become the latest target of Latin American countries by President Trump, with a very public spat between both leaders. First, the escalating conflict with Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro, and now this. Do you support his actions? And what could this mean for the South Florida community?
You mean whose actions?
President Trump's.
The president, well, Colombians do not deserve a president like Petro. Petro said in the middle of a demonstration in New York City, he told the troops, the American troops, not to pay attention to what their commander-in-chief was telling them. And he said to Univision a few days ago that Trump needed to go. Well, what type of democracy is he talking about? Petro is just digging his own grave, and many Colombians know it. Petro needs to recognize that the coca leaves, the fields have grown 300%. Colombia is once again the #1 producer of coke in the world. Colombians don't deserve that. And Petro doesn't even want to go there. While he's talking, the coca fields are growing. And President Trump has a responsibility to stop drugs coming into this country. And that's why we're dealing with Maduro, and now we're dealing with Petro.
Would you support U.S. going into Venezuela?
Oh, I think that if the Maduro regime, remember that the Maduro regime is not the legitimate president of the country. Maduro stole the elections. He signed an accord called the Barbados Accords, and he never fulfilled what he had committed to, which was to, if I lose the elections, I'm going to go. And on top of that, he is the head of the cartel, the Soles, which is one of the main drug cartels in the world. So we're dealing with an illegitimate president. And the president said it, the transnational criminal organization, if you are the head of one of those, we can send the troops in, take you out, and clean the territory. And that's exactly what the Venezuelans who live in District 27 want to be seen. They want Maduro to go. He has two choices. Either he goes on good terms, or we are going to make him leave on bad terms.
Moving to Argentina and this deal that the president has made and with the money, do you agree with that action as well?
I agree that Milei is the moral reference for the hemisphere, for the Western Hemisphere. Milei is the opposite of Maduro. He's demonstrating that with free elections, democracy, liberty, free market economy, and capitalism, you can bring prosperity to the economy and have happy Argentinians. That's why Trump recognizes that. The Secretary of the Treasury recognizes it. And if we can help him, catapult him, push him, help the peso to get to that goal, why not? Because he has demonstrated that he has our same values. So it's time for the United States to intervene in Latin America like it's done for so many years and help those countries that have our same values prosper.
Okay, finally, bringing it back to this country and one of your babies, which is the Dignity Act. I know that you have recently received more bipartisan support. Can you tell us where that stands?
Well, you know, immigration is the most toxic topic in Congress. Very few people want to deal with it, but Salazar in 27 has. I wrote the dignity legislation is the only bipartisan immigration where it's Solomonic, it's in the middle. It does not give path to citizenship to those people who have been here for more than 5 years. It does not reward those who came in during the Biden administration, but it does reward those who have been here for 5, 10, 15 years in construction, hospitality, and agricultural, and gives them a path for them to stay with no citizenship. So it's not amnesty, it's dignity. It's not amnesty, it's dignity. And I am sure, Jackie, that President Trump, who's an intelligent guy, he comes from the construction and hospitality sectors, will understand that this is what's needed. And what's happening right now with ICE, that 70% of the people they picked up in September do not have a criminal record. That cannot continue happening. It only damages our economy, and it damages the Republican Party, and the vision that the Hispanics have of my Republican Party is being damaged by the day.
Congresswoman María Elvira Salazar, thank you.